Someone in Port Charles is about to hide the wrong person, trust the wrong ally, and answer the wrong phone call, and I don't think anyone is ready for how badly this could turn. I have been watching the pieces line up from April 27 through May 15, and the more I look at it, the more it seems like General Hospital is not building toward one simple May sweeps explosion. It seems like the show is quietly setting up a 3-week collapse, where every secret that looked separate suddenly starts bleeding into the next one. Ethan's return, Sonny's dangerous choices, Valentine's confession, Carly's hidden gamble, Brennan's suspicion, Michael's plan against Willow, and that strange mystery surrounding Ethan's voicemail all feel like different sparks from the same fire. And I keep coming back to one uncomfortable thought. What if the biggest danger in Port Charles right now is not Sidwell, not Brennan, not even Sonny's enemies? What if the real danger is that every major player believes they still control the secret they are hiding? The week of April 27 feels like the beginning of the trap. Ethan walks back into Sonny's orbit with an offer, and on the surface, it could seem simple. Maybe he has information. Maybe he has access. Maybe he has a way to get close to Sidwell. But the truth could be much more complicated. I don't believe Ethan comes home empty-handed, and I definitely don't believe he comes home without a private reason. It could be that he wants Sonny to think the offer is about Sidwell, while the real target is someone else entirely. It's very likely that Sonny senses something is off. Sonny has survived too long to take any offer at face value, especially from someone who understands how dangerous leverage can be. But if only Sonny knew the full story behind Ethan's return, he might realize that he is not being handed an opportunity. He may be stepping into a transaction where the price has been hidden until the very last moment. No one would have guessed that Ethan could become the wild card who shakes Sonny's entire strategy. That is exactly why I find him so suspicious. The man is not moving like someone who simply wants to help. He feels like someone who has already made a promise somewhere else, to someone else, and now he needs Sonny's power to finish what he started. At the same time, Valentine's confession feels like a door cracking open in another part of town. It seems like Valentine may reveal just enough to make everyone nervous, but not enough to free anyone from the danger. This means that Carly's situation could become almost impossible to manage. If she's hiding Valentine, protecting Valentine, or even just covering for him in a way Brennan does not understand, then she is not only lying, she is building a bomb inside her own life. And I think Lucas could be the one who hears it ticking first. Lucas questioning Carly may not look like the biggest moment at first, but I believe it could be one of the most important emotional cracks in these 3 weeks. Carly can fight enemies. Carly can stand up to mob threats. Carly can manipulate a room when she has to. But when family looks at her and sees the lie before she says it, she loses some of her power. It could be that Lucas does not expose her directly. It could be worse than that. He may force her to defend herself, and Carly's defense may reveal more than silence ever would. The truth could be much more complicated because Brennan is not just a jealous man waiting to be hurt. Brennan is trained to notice the things other people miss. If Carly hesitates, if she changes one detail, if she protects Valentine too quickly, Brennan may begin building his own case against her. And once Brennan starts looking at Carly like a problem instead of a partner, everything changes. It's very likely that Brennan's panic or anger is not just emotional. This could become a matter of pride, control, and professional embarrassment. If Carly has outmaneuvered him in his own world of secrets, then he may not react like a wounded boyfriend. He may react like a man who believes he has been compromised. And that makes Carly's secret much more dangerous than she realizes. By the time the week of April 27 moves deeper, Michael and Willow may be entering a different kind of battlefield. I don't think Michael's plan is only about revenge, and I don't think it is only about custody. It seems like Michael may be creating a record one moment at a time. Every emotional reaction from Willow, every defensive move, every connection to Drew, every moment where she looks unstable or cornered could become part of something larger. This means that Willow may not be defeated by one dramatic mistake. It could be that she is slowly boxed in by a version of herself other people are helping to create. And If only Willow could step back far enough to see the trap, she might understand that Michael does not need to yell. He does not need to threaten. He only needs her to keep reacting. Liz putting pressure on Willow may be another key piece. It seems like Liz could ask the kind of question that sounds caring but lands like an accusation. Willow may try to defend herself, but the truth could be much more complicated than guilt or innocence. She may honestly believe she is doing what she has to do, but in Port Charles, believing you are right has never stopped someone from destroying themselves. Then the second week, from May 4 to May 8, feels like the show may shift the lighting. The Savoy becomes bright, musical, public, almost magical. Gio and Emma are pulled towards something that feels lighter, maybe even hopeful. But I do not trust a bright stage in Port Charles. It seems like whenever everyone is looking at the performance, the real deal happens behind the curtain. It could be that the Savoy event is not just a fun interruption. It could be a distraction. It's very likely that while one side of town is smiling, another side is making a move. Curtis may be closer to a new suspect. Gio and Emma may notice something they do not understand yet. Someone could overhear a sentence they were never meant to hear. Someone could walk into the wrong hallway. No one would have guessed that a night built around music could become the place where a secret quietly changes hands, but that is the kind of twist I think the show may be teasing. And if Carly's secret is still alive during that second week, then Brennan's suspicion could get worse. He may not explode immediately. That would be too easy. I think it is more likely that he watches, he tests, he waits for Carly to contradict herself. This means Carly could be living with the illusion that she has bought more time, while Brennan has already started putting the pieces together. The truth could be much more complicated if Valentine is not only hiding from danger but also still playing a game of his own. I cannot shake the idea that Valentine may confess one thing while protecting another. If Carly thinks she knows the full reason he needs help, she may be wrong. And if Brennan discovers Valentine before Carly decides to come clean, then Carly may lose control of both men at once. At the same time, Britt's secret could become another pressure point. Sonny seeking Britt feels too deliberate to be casual. It could be medical. It could be strategic. It could be personal. But I keep wondering whether Britt knows something connected to Sidwell, Ethan, or even a hidden part of Sonny's next move. It's very likely that Britt does not want to be dragged into the center of Sonny's war, but information makes people valuable in Port Charles. And valuable people become vulnerable people. Sidwell, meanwhile, may not need proof to become dangerous. Suspicion may be enough. If he senses Ethan is moving around him, if he senses Sonny is looking for an opening, if he senses Britt or someone else has become useful, he may strike before anyone has a clean plan. This means Sonny could be pulled into action before he is ready. If only Sonny knew whether Ethan was a weapon or bait, he might make a different choice. But the third week, from May 11 to May 15, is where I think the real shadow falls. That is where Ethan's mystery starts feeling less like a side plot and more like a hidden door. The voicemail, the unknown contact, the possibility of someone tied to his past, all of it feels too specific to ignore. It could be that Ethan came back because of Sonny, but I doubt it. It seems like Sonny may only be one stop on Ethan's real road. And this is where Jacinda becomes interesting to me. I am not saying she is definitely the answer, but it's very likely that she is not as random as she may seem. The truth could be much more complicated if Jacinda has a connection to Ethan's past Australia or a deal that has not been fully explained yet. No one would have guessed that someone standing near the edges of Michael and Willow's chaos could also be connected to Ethan's mystery, but that would make the canvas much tighter and much more dangerous. It could be that Jacinda knows something Ethan needs. It could be that Ethan knows something about her. It could even be that both of them are pretending not to recognize the same threat. And if only one of them is telling the full truth, the other may already be in danger. By May 15, I don't think Port Charles will have answers. I think it will have consequences. Carly may be one step away from exposure. Brennan may be one step away from turning cold. Michael may be closer to trapping Willow than she realizes. Sunny may be deeper inside Ethan's game. Britt may be holding a secret that someone dangerous wants. And Ethan's voicemail may finally start to look like the smallest clue to the largest betrayal. What makes this 3-week stretch so tense is that every story seems to be asking the same question from a different angle. How long can a person hide something before the secret starts making decisions for them? Because it seems like Carly is not controlling Valentine's secret anymore. Michael may not be controlling the emotional war with Willow as much as he thinks. Sunny may not be controlling Ethan's offer. Ethan may not even be controlling the mystery he brought back with him. And Brennan, if pushed far enough, may become the one person no one can control at all. So I keep asking myself one thing. When the truth finally turns against the people protecting it, whose life falls apart first, Carly's, Willow's, Sunny's, or Ethan's?